Today's video is brought to you by my daddy issues again. Hi booktube, it's Marianne at We Last Read a Book, and today we have a Kindle Unlimited haul. So I know it's not been that long since my last Kindle Unlimited haul, but I was not getting on well with the mermaid romances and I just wasn't vibing. Wow. The auto adjust lighting is horrendous. Like, how does this benefit anybody? Anyway, and I was just like, this seemed like a good idea at the time, and then I went into a reading slump and didn't know what to do, and Meg at By the Book had suggested maybe rereading a favourite, and then I remembered that I hadn't finished rereading Birthday Girl, so I went, right, we'll take Meg's advice, and I went and started listening to Birthday Girl again, and then went, do you know what Mama needs in her life to kind of like get her out of this kind of slump that she is in? She needs some age gap romances. I have no idea what the draw is, but there's something about it that's just so irresistible. Thought I would hate it, turns out I fucking love it. We have 10 age gap romances. Some of them I have heard spoken about before, some others I have not. The majority of them are well rated on Goodreads, but I have been bitten in the past because I have read books that were like rated 4 point whatever average, and they've been absolutely trash. So we're going into it with an open mind because there were reviews from people that I really trust on Booktube and Goodreads and Bookstagram, so I'm not going to set myself up for disappointment. Because setting yourself up for disappointment is basically my whole paternal vibe. Anyway, let's look at the books. So the first book we have is Luna and the Lie by Mariana Zapata, and this is a 15-year age gap, and Luna works in a garage and she loves everybody that works there. She has a great relationship with the boss, but then they bring in another co-owner slash co-manager, assistant to the regional manager, I don't know, right? It's another guy who she is working for, and his name is Ripley, and he's the kind of grumpy standoffish boss, but there's a nice slow burn romance apparently. They're both on the run from their old pasts. They've had drama and misery following them through their lives, and they find each other. And this will be my first Mariana Zapata book that I have read, which is shameful because I have seen nothing but praise, and Bree from In Love and Words always sings her praises, so again, reviews that I trust. So I'm really looking forward to reading that one. That's probably the one I'm going to start with, although I believe that it's like 600-700 pages, so I might be better starting off with one of the wee small ones first if I'm planning on using these to get me out of a slump. So the next one we have is Wanting Mr Kane by Shonora Williams, and we have the characters of Candy and Mr Kane. I think Kane's first name is Quentin. We're going with Quentin just for the time being. So this is a dad's best friend situation. We have Candy and we have Mr Kane, and there's a 17-year age gap between them. They have like a one night kind of thing, and then the romance kind of happens, and their biggest worry is obviously fracturing the friendship between Mr Kane and Candy's dad, and obviously the parental relationship between Candy and her father. I don't have a point of reference for this owing to the fact that I am fatherless, but surely if your best friend turned around and was like, okay, so me and your daughter, like, can you come back from that? You would probably be able to kind of mend the parental relationship, but like the best friend relationship. I don't know if you can come back from that. So the next book we have only has a 3 year age gap, but it is a teacher student romance, so you've got the added taboo factor there, and it's A Different Blue by Amy Harmon. This is about Blue, who was abandoned by her parents and raised by other people, and she ends up not starting school until later than your average child would start. She is 19 at the point of the story, and she is interested in one of her teachers who is only 3 years older than her. And he is kind of wanting to take her under his wing and look after her and guide her and protect her and stuff like that. And obviously that turns into something else, which obviously between a teacher and a student creates a whole host of problems. The experiences that I've had with teacher student have been kind of hit and miss. I talked previously about Grading Curves by Naima Simone. I really loved that vibe that was happening there. But then I read Misbehaved by Charlie Rose and I wasn't a massive fan. It wasn't that it was bad, I just wasn't really into it that much. So the next one I have is another teacher student 3 year age gap romance situation, and it is Living Mr Daniels by Brittany C. Cherry. Ashlyn and Daniel meet each other out with school at a bar. They end up developing feelings for each other and fall in love and all of that sort of good stuff. So looking forward to reading that one. The teacher student ones don't have that big of an age gap, which for me kind of works. The next book I downloaded was Daddy's Angel by K.A. Knight. So this is a boyfriend slash ex-boyfriend's dad, and you know that I fuck with birthday girls, so I'm probably gonna love this. We have the character of Lexi, and her boyfriend cheats on her, and to get revenge, she says, right, okay, well, I already fancy your dad, so I am gonna go and get fired right in. So the one night of revenge turns into a passionate affair that threatens to tear apart, ruin, upend their whole lives. So good luck with that. I worked it for Jordan and Pike, so I'm sure it'll be fine for you guys as well. The next book I downloaded was Torn by Carrie-Anne Cole. Carrie-Anne Cole? Carrie-Anne Cole? Carrie-Anne Cole? This one I don't know if I'm too keen on the premise of. So Kenzie has had this continual crush on her dad's friend, Torrin, and I think it's one of those kind of relationships that I don't know if this is common across like the world, but in Scotland, like your mum or dad's best pal, you refer to them as auntie and uncle. So for example, my mum's best friend growing up, we always called her auntie. So obviously they have a kind of close relationship from the point that she was a child, very young, very very young child. So she's got this crush on Torrin, and he loves her, she loves him, and they end up having a thing. And they obviously don't want to hurt Kenzie's dad and damage the friendship and all of that sort of thing. My concern with this one, in comparison to the previous dad's best friend situation, is in the synopsis it explicitly states that they've known each other since she was like 5. Has this been a case of like she's gone away and grown up and then he's seen her as an adult and is like, wow, she is gorgeous? Or like has he just been sitting about waiting on her turn 18? Because that squicks me a wee bit. Don't know how I feel about that. But there's a 15-year age gap between them, and yeah, they're just trying to have a relationship without everything else going to shit. Ain't we all, Chief? Ain't we all? The next book that we have is called Lucas, and it's by the same author. This is part of a series but can be read as a standalone. The age gap is 12 years. So Ivy is 36 and Lucas is 24. And Ivy's husband cheats on her, so they're getting a divorce, and her best pal gives her a gift voucher to go and get a tattoo done. So she goes to get a tattoo done. The tattooist is this handsome young man, Lucas, and the relationship blossoms from there. She's looking for something stable and secure, and she wants a happy, safe life. And he is offering to give that to her, but she is like, "You're awful young, like, don't know if you can provide me the safety and security that I am looking for here." And obviously, she's got like family and kids that she has to take into consideration. So, yeah, he's offering her a solid, safe, secure future, and she is just not sure whether she wants to risk it or not. So, the second last book we have is Irresistible by Melanie Harlow. We have Mac, who is an ex Marine and single dad of 3 children, and Fran, who is 27. And this is a boss's daughter age gap romance. So Fran ends up being his part-time nanny to his 3 children. There's a 10-year age gap between the two of them, and they sort of get snowed in, kind of. Well, the snow happens and something goes wrong with the car, and then, yeah, they get snowed in, and then something happens, and he's already been fantasizing about her and stuff, so it's inevitable, and I am 100% ready to see all of that play out. So I said that Irresistible was the second last book, but that wasn't the second last book. This is the second last book, and it's Reasonable Doubt by Whitney G. Now, the last Whitney G book that I read, I hated the hero, and after reading the synopsis, I'm pretty sure I'm going to hate this guy as well. We have a 10-year age gap, and it's a workplace romance. And we have Andrew, who is a lawyer, and he has employed someone to work for him. He's expecting this person who's going to be curvy, blonde, sexy, that whole vibe. And then a 19-year-old college intern turns up. Apparently, he's not happy about that. He just sounds as if he's going to be a bit of a dick. I might be proven wrong. He might be a legend. I don't know. We'll find out. The next one I have next to no information on, and it's Monster in His Eyes by J.M. Darhauer. We have Carissa, who is 18, and Naz, who is 30 something. Wait, to go and check. Yeah, he's 36. And it's a kind of insta love vibe. He's kind of dark, mysterious, stranger. I think from the context, he seems to be as if he's possibly in the mafia. I don't know. I'm sure I've heard this book spoke about before, but I remember nothing about what was said. So we'll see what happens there. Oh, the foxes are loud tonight. Oh my god. It sounds like they're screaming. Can you hear that? I actually never realised that that was the noise that foxes made when they were mating and communicating with each other and stuff like that. Because every night where we live, there is a big wooded area, and it is inhabited by foxes and bunnies, and kind of like we feel nice and stuff like that. So the foxes have a tendency to walk up and down our street at night, and like the noise can be hellish. I don't mind them. Like, I think they're extremely cute. I would happily leave food out for them. I would happily make friends with them. But oh my god, the noises they make. Like, I have heard them. I've heard their mating screams. I've heard them communicating with each other, and their prey making hideous noises. And yeah, I love foxes, but the screaming is a bit much. Although I should be grateful that all that we really have to deal with is foxes and rabbits and cute things, rather than like bears and snakes and poisonous spiders. I mean, we've got shit weather, but like the biggest animal that I'm gonna come across is like a cow or a horse or a fox. Like, It's not that bad. Although there was discussion that they were hoping to reintroduce wildcats up north, which would be cool to see. And also, like, there's been this thing, and I don't know if it's like an urban legend, that there's like a random panther roaming the Highlands. I don't know if it's true. There's been like photos and stuff of it put online, and I'm like, is it just a really big? Is it not just a really big kind of like cat, or like some form of like? Because I think, is it ocelot that they had up north, or was it a lynx? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember what it was that they're trying to reintroduce up there. I don't think it's lynx. Is it lynx? It might be lynx. And I'm thinking to myself, is it possibly a lynx that they're seeing, and it's just unfortunate lighting that's made it look black like a panther? Um, but yeah, I don't know. So maybe you could like come across a lynx. Maybe you could come across a panther. I don't know. Basically, I have gone off on a tangent, so I am just gonna quit while I'm ahead. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm very tired, so I'm gonna go to sleep. So stay safe, happy reading, and I'll speak to you later. Bye. Lucky for you, I got all these daddy issues. Guys my age don't know how to touch me, don't know how to love me good. But you hold me like a woman.